Hello everyone, this is Latara Venice, your soul care provider. And if you are watching this, it means you are a part of the Soul Detox. And guess what? You are getting this teaching series. Now, I already do a lot of teaching and training in the community, but one book that I want to teach from is Soul Print by Mark Batterson. So this is a part of the curriculum for this 21-day detox, and you will receive 3 of these videos with downloadable worksheets that you will be able to go through. There's also a link in the same file area where everything is housed, and you will have a link to be able to actually purchase this book. I highly suggest that you purchase this book and go through it page by page, moment by moment, minute by minute. It is a fantastic book, and we are going to learn a lot more about discovering our divine destiny. And so a part of Soul Detox is once you begin to unleash all of the pain and all of the confusion and all of that other stuff that's going on, you begin to meet your emotions. What ends up happening is you begin to wonder, who am I? You may already be wondering that, but it begins to get even better. And you don't want to know who am I according to the world standards, but who am I according to God's standards? And so there are things that have happened in life that God is showing us and that God has used or is using to define who we are. We're going to talk about that this week. So you're going to kind of see me going back and forth because I have my notes here. I don't have a teleprompter or anything like that. I have my notes sitting here and the book, and so that's how we're going to go. This is going to be a great teaching, and at the end, again, you will have a document you can download. I love journaling, you know that, so it will be like a journal entry or journal page that you can fill out. And I highly suggest that you have a small binder for the detox. If you don't already have one, have a small little 1/2-inch binder where you can put the journal pages in as we go through this 21 days and beyond. Because remember, when you signed up for the Soul Detox, you are now a permanent member unless you remove yourself. I will not remove you unless you you don't follow community guidelines, which is simply have some respect. That easy. That easy. So I want to read something to you from the book. It says, in fact, superficiality is the curse of our culture. And the primary reason we live as strangers to ourselves is because we're afraid of what we'll find if we start digging. We don't really want to see ourselves for who we are. But if we can dig deeper than our fallen natures, we'll find the truth that lies buried beneath our sin, the image of God. We'll find our true identities and our true destinies as well. Many people avoid who they are, put on masks, be someone they're not, try to be like somebody else because of the sin that we carry in us, and we think that God is shamed of us. We are guilty. We feel shamed. We don't feel very good about presenting ourselves before God as we are, and so we try to run and hide. And we do the same thing in the world. If they see me, what will they think? How will they feel about me? What will happen? Let me tell you that the most important identity you can have is that God gave you. And so we're going to look at that. We're going to look at our soul print. Where does it come from? What does it look like? One of the things that the book talks about that I have learned is that life is measured in moments. We are made by the moments in our life. Our destiny is determined by the moments in our life. Now, God has already designed our destiny, and we'll talk about that a little later. Our destiny is already designed. Get that, okay? But the moments, right, cultivate us and prepare us for the destiny we are called to, okay? My end destiny is color your soul. The moments of my life have defined it. Okay, I've been molested. Yeah, I was telling somebody one day that I've always known God, even though I wasn't saved. I've always known He was there. I've been molested, and He's saved me so many times from it being worse. And during the molestation, sometimes I was physically abused by one of my abusers. It was more than one person. It was more than a man. One man. It was five women, five men. Not five women, five men. A total of men and women, five people that I can remember. Okay, some years later, I became promiscuous and all these other things happened. Someone one time did not hear me saying no. And so to me, that was attempted rape because I was saying no, I don't want this. Okay. And then many other things happened. The fire, my nephew's murder, 10 years of mental and emotional abuse, just all of these different things. Life just happened, these moments. Those are huge moments. But even the small moments help to determine who I am. I can remember digging worms in my dad's backyard. They had this big tree, and when it would rain, I would go outside after the rain and dig in the mud to find worms. Well, guess what? I am a gardener today, and I welcome worms, right? Small things, small, tiny things that we don't think matter. How you play when you were a child, how you play as an adult, how you talked to your parents as a child. Small moments, that time you hit the ball and missed it, right? We don't think about those moments, but those moments help to define who we are, okay? Now I want to read a little bit more to you. Time is measured in minutes, but life is measured in moments. And some moments are larger than life. And it's those moments, defining moments, that dictate the way we see life. Some of them are as predictable as a wedding day or the birth of a child. Others are as predictable as an accident. You never know which moment might become a defining moment, but identifying those moments is key to identifying who you are. Psychological research suggests that one's self-concept is defined by a very small number of experience. So the big ones are important, but the small ones define us. We don't think about that, do we? I know I never really did. The key to fulfilling your destiny is to discover the moments in your life. What were you doing at the age of 5? What were you doing at the age of 10? What were you doing at the age of 12? What were you doing at the age of 20? Right? What were you doing in those moments? What did those moments look like for you? What was happening? What was the surrounding? Who were your friends? The moments in your life. Where did you go? What did you do? Right? The moments in your life. God uses defining moments quite often. And I want to share an example with you from David. This book uses the story of David quite often. The best example of how God uses defining moments to reveal a person's destiny is found in the life of David. He wrote, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." As with the psalmist, all your days are ordained by God, and it's your holy responsibility to discover that God ordained destiny, just like David did. His epitaph speaks for itself. When David had served God's purpose in his own generation, he fell asleep. David did not leave until his destiny was completed. Now, let me back up a bit before we cut this video off for today and you do your worksheet. You do your timeline of where was I, because that's what you're going to do. There are people who die every day. My nephew, I'll use as an example. He died prematurely. It wasn't his time, but he also was going against God's destiny. So did you catch that? Did you catch that? If you are going towards the destiny that God has for you, then the days ordained for you, which are normally pretty long when you're living the destiny that God has for you, right, are sure. But when you go against the grain of his destiny and you don't follow through with what it is he has for you to do, you deny your destiny and may cut your life off or live a life that's pretty miserable until the day you die. So if you want joyous life, if you want a joyous experience, you're going to have to really want to dig into your defining moments to walk out your destiny. Now, in the next video, we will talk about how your destiny is already set in place. Today, I want you to download the worksheet, and it's going to be a timeline, simple timeline of you at specific ages, and just kind of jot what you remember. And how were they defining moments for you? Take the time to do that and ask Holy Spirit to show you, how do these relate to my destiny? I told you all: molestation, attempted rape, promiscuity, being a thug, right? Hanging around thugs, dating them, being who I was, an abusive marriage, house fire, nephew dying, child kidnapped, custody case, all of these things, mother having a stroke, all of these things were moments in my timeline that defined me. But it was some of the smallest moments within those moments that defined my destiny. Let's get with it, all right? See you guys in the next video. Do the work. That's important. Bye-bye.